great seeing you, man, because I think it's been like literally, I would probably say, what, 2 years since we've physically seen each other, I think? Because you were here in Toronto promoting that great song, was Pillow Talk.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was, yeah, we had a great conversation. And yeah, I think it was the last time we actually saw each other. And of course, the world went to crap and everything else. So it's great to see you, man. How are you holding up? And congrats on the new music that we're going to be talking about.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm holding up all right. It's kind of one of those things where the pandemic it's been such a crappy thing for everybody in a lot of ways, but for me, music wise, it's actually gone really good. So it's one of those things where I'm like, I can't complain too much. But yeah.
Yeah, no, you can't complain, especially because what we're going to end up talking about, what has happened to you in this time period. But Pillow Talk, man, talk about that song again and what it has done for your career.
Man, that song, I mean, when I met you 2 years ago, that's the song that we were pitching, of going, hey, so this is our first song coming out of the gate, sort of thing. And that song was just supposed to get our foot in the door, and that one just kicked the whole door down. So it literally made my whole career, really, from the very start. And yeah, I mean, when we released the first song, I was actually told to not expect for it to even go top 50. Just for brand new artists, and so it's like, oh, you never know where it's going to go. And all of a sudden, we hit top 50 and 40 and 30 and 20, and we end up hitting number one. And so yeah, this song, it changed everything for me. And so I think we nailed it on choosing the right song to come out of the gates with. And so yeah, that song, it's funny because normally when my songs come on the radio, it's like still weird for me to hear it. And it's like, oh, change the station or something like that. No, but when Pillow Talking comes on, I find myself singing to it. And I think
Really?
it's one of those things where it feels like it's not my song anymore. And we were getting ready, we were having a band rehearsal a couple days ago, and we were going through the songs and stuff, and I kind of said we did Pillow Talk, and I was like, man, that doesn't even feel like my song. It felt like it's turned into something way bigger than me, and I just get to sing it. And so yeah, it's one of those things. It's just that song just changed everything for me.
Well, it definitely has, man, especially when it comes to the awards. What happened? What is it, the BC Country Music Awards?
Yeah.
What happened there with you, man?
Yeah, we got we fluked out. We got we got I think it was Male Artist of the Year, SoCan Songwriter of the Year, and then Single of the Year. And
Wow.
yeah, Pillow Talking was the Single of the Year.
Those are some big categories to win, man, coming out of your gates. So when you hear your name, one thing getting the nomination, which is amazing, but when you hear that you're the winner, what was your thought
Mhm.
at that moment?
Uh, are you sure? I think that's mostly what I think. Like, really, me? Yeah, I mean, getting even one of those, it's like, oh, are you sure that's the best choice out of all the options that we have there? And but yeah, I think there's just been so much surprise of just going, I can't believe that that stuff is happening. I can't believe that we're Single of the Year, Male Artist of the Year, and SoCan Songwriter of the Year. Like, it's just crazy. I think it's still, all this stuff is still trying to, it's catching up to me, but it's not there yet. So it's still one of those things where it's like, you know, I'm still working full time. So I paint right now, carpenter and a painter, and so it's one of those things where like most of my interviews and stuff are still normally on the job site and all this stuff. So it's like normally people be like, oh, just asking kind of what I'm up to, and I'm like, oh, I'm on the job site. I'm like 20 feet up a ladder. And they're like, "What? You still working?" I'm like, "Yeah." And it's it's one of those things where it doesn't feel real yet.
Yeah.
Where I'm still like, man, like this isn't, I still make a paycheck, truck don't pay itself, sort of thing, and like it just doesn't feel real yet. Like I haven't even been in front of a crowd. I haven't played one show since we released Pillow Talking. So it's
That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
Well,
it's nuts.
it would have been different if the pandemic did not happen, I think. So, but it's great that you still keep your old school roots going, man. And it's just like, yeah, I got the career, but I still got to, feed the family and keep a roof over my head and got to keep a job going.
Yeah.
CCMAs, though, man, something special happened with you on that, too.
Yeah, we were up for rising star emerging artist. I forget what the exact wording is for that
Rising
award, but
Star.
rising star.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got a final nomination for rising star, which is, I'm told, your first year, uh, that normally doesn't happen, or through a pandemic sort of thing. So yeah, that was weird. I remember, there's a couple of us in my living room here watching the CCMAs on the TV, and all of a sudden my picture comes up and Tyler Joe Miller. I'm like, holy crap. Yeah, and so obviously Tennille Arts won. So deserving. Like I'm such a big fan.
Same.
She's unreal, and yeah, but just even to be thought of in that category, and especially as a final nomination, that is it blew me away. Like it's that's the dream of the awards that you want is CCMAs, and so um, yeah, it's again one of those things where it's like, man, there's a lot of other people you guys can choose from. I don't know why you're choosing me, but yeah, I think it's just surprise still, and also just like I couldn't be more grateful. As still blue collar guy that's still working his 9 to 5. People choosing me to be an emerging artist final nominee thing for CCMAs. It's just like, man, I couldn't be more grateful and thankful.
So, how have you been dealing with the job and recording new music during COVID? How did that all work out for you, man?
uh,
I love that laugh.
it-
It's like you don't even have to answer it, man. You just did it right there.
yeah, yeah, that's it, man. It's definitely a hard thing. One, a hard thing to do. Two, definitely a hard thing to balance. Even doing my 9 to 5 is already busy enough. We're crazy busy, and then music stuff is just always busy. Um, Definitely hard to balance that kind of life. I feel like I'm working 2 full-time jobs.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
literally when we're done here, I'm going to the job site. um, but yeah, recording stuff like that, it was definitely hard through the pandemic. Especially when we were doing it, it was, when I got in the studio to cut vocals, it's like it's still like one person in the studio loud, and like masks on until you're actually singing and all this stuff. And it was tough, and especially not being able to be in the room with like my producer Danik Dupel. Like just got it done. Like he's just unreal, and he got all the musicians together and got all that stuff done. And then I went in and cut vocals up here in Vancouver, and it was weird. It was definitely weird not being in the studio with my producer, because the first 3 songs I was there doing it with Danik, and then the last 3 from my EP. So like Pillow Talking, I'll Be Over Me Too, and Fighting were all done at the same time. And then sometimes I do You'd Really Hate Me Now and Maybe It's Me were done later on. But yeah, it was a bit of an interesting experience trying to get all that done. So I'm thankful that we're starting to see the end of the tunnel with the pandemic, and then I can, get back in the studio and we can not worry about that stuff anymore. But
So let's mention again, EP. What's the EP called, man?
EP is called Sometimes I Don't, but Sometimes I Do.
Now, that sounds like it's got a special meaning for you, especially what you've been going through the last 2, 3 years.
This yeah, I mean it's from the title track, Sometimes I Do. And there's something about just that saying that I think is funny and that I like, where it's just like, it's also kind of my personality. Like, you can't really put me in a box, sometimes I get up to a little trouble and sometimes I don't, and sort of thing. And so yeah, it's funny because our team we were trying to decide what the title was going to be, the EP, and we knew that Sometimes I Do was the title track that we wanted. But there was something kind of just like quirky about Sometimes I Don't, but Sometimes I Do. But it's also a huge, like, there's a lot of words in it for that EP, and they're like, that's a lot of words, it's going to be hard to put on a graphic. It's like, no, let's just do it. I want it. Let's do it. And so we made it happen. But yeah, it's just one of those sayings where it's like, never know what you're up to.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so it's yeah.
Especially in this time of the way the world has been, man. So that's the perfect name for what we've been going through. So I absolutely love it. The other
Totally.
thing I've been loving too, man, because I follow you on social media too. Those little clips that you've been putting in and with you doing acoustic and stuff like that, man. So cool.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's great. Are you talking about the Sirius XM ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because that's for the top of the country competition that we're in for that. And yeah, it's cool. It's that was also another song that we weren't expecting to put out, one called That's Her.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden we get in this competition for Sirius XM / CCMAs, both of them putting it on. And we're like, oh crap, we've already put out like 6 of our songs. Like, what's another one that we're gonna do? And then we had That's Her written a while ago from one of my trips to Nashville, and it just worked out perfectly. So we're like, all right, that's the one. And yeah, it's been fun to actually like put out, clips online and stuff of me actually playing, because I think a lot of my social media before used to just be me in like Guatemala, or me like 4x4ing or something like that.
And yeah, you got to remind people, because I know you're going to have to go soon, but remind people why Guatemala.
Yeah, I've got a nonprofit, and we do work down in Guatemala. We partner with an organization down there called Hope of Life, and yeah, we do building projects for villages and communities in need. And we build schools, we build homes, water supplies, children's sponsorships, and baby rescues for kids that are malnourished and stuff out there, and a bunch of that stuff. But our main objective is building projects, getting a roof over people's heads, and then baby rescues.
Amazing,
And
man.
yeah, so that's used to be down in Guatemala all the time, and then the pandemic, and this is actually the longest that have not gone down. So it's definitely been tough, that's for sure.
Yeah, but you know what? Good things come to good people, and that's why you're so successful right now, man. You giving back, and
Thanks, buddy.
now karma's giving back to you in such a beautiful way. Now, I just want to know, when you going to give back to us in a tour or concerts or whatever. Do we know anything yet? And I know we're still trying to figure out what's happening. Could there be drive-ins? Could there be still doing it up on social media or something? What's happening?
Hmm. Yeah, we've got a few things coming down the pipeline. So we just got to announce that we're playing Calgary Stampede in 2 weeks now, 2.5 weeks, something like
Great.
that. 3. July 10th, we're playing Calgary Stampede. So that it's actually going to be my first official show ever uh, as Tyler Joe Miller. So that'll be fun. We got some more stuff coming up in August that we're not able to announce yet, but
Okay.
we got some stuff coming up. And then as in just another show. And then uh, yeah, we got stuff. We got stuff coming, and so sounds like we might be a little bit busy in November, possibly, and October, and so we got stuff coming along. Tour, we're still letting my booking agency deal with that and all that, and they're just doing a great job working through this stuff, and yeah, so we're getting ready for it. Like I'm ready to hit the road. So
Sounds like it, man.
uh, I'm ready to put a paintbrush down and pick up the guitar.
I'll tell you something, man. I can't be in Calgary, but I definitely will be thinking about you on July 10th because just going there it is, man. This is the day you're doing your first live performance as the successful artist, whether it be on stage or off stage, man. I am so happy with you. Tyler, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. Congratulations on all the success that's going on. Hopefully, man, we get a chance to talk again in person. I'm still waiting to get my second shot, but either way, man,
Yeah,
I'm hoping that you can come to Toronto. We can talk again on new music and all your success.
absolutely. I'd love to. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. It's been too long.
Too damn long, man.
We won't wait another 2 years for this.
Hell no.